Well, welcome to Toronto Maple Leafs baseball here at Christie Pitts. Thomas West alongside Zach Benoit. And boy, it was chilly in our opening game of the CBL season. Today, not the same.
It is a glorious day out today. 25, clear skies. It's feeling a little bit like 29 right now, but I mean, it's a perfect day for baseball. The fans, they're slowly strolling in, and there were some eager faces as I was driving to the ballpark today. I saw a lot of Toronto Maple Leaf hats out on the street in and around the Christie area.
Oh yeah, this is the perfect day to come out to a ball game. This is the first day, I think, that we can honestly say it's that classic hot and muggy weather that you get in Toronto. So this should be a fantastic one today between the Toronto Maple Leafs and Hamilton Cardinals. And Zach, Hamilton coming off a loss against the Kitchener Panthers, the team that the Maple Leafs beat here on opening day. In my opinion, this makes Hamilton even more hungry to get a win today in their second game.
Yeah, this is a Hamilton team where they had their best pitcher on the mound in Owen Boone in that game. But, I think in coming into this one, they're coming into Christie Pitts, a park that's very friendly to the offense. They want to get their offense rolling. When you look at things, they are bottom of the league after that one game when it comes to just offensive stats. In that game, they only batted 156. They want to start turning things around, and I think that's kind of be the big thing here. You're in a hitter-friendly ballpark. You're going up against a team where we've seen the pitching in years prior be really solid. We've seen it kind of be a little bit shaky. What's going to happen today, we don't know yet, but Hamilton, like you said, they're probably going to come out a little bit more hungry. Hamilton
is not going to lose a lot of games this year with Owen Boone on the mound. That's just a fact. But the big thing for them, they got nothing from the top three batters in their lineup, like not even a single hit the entire game. That was a huge story, and they're going to be looking for more production from them in this game. For the Maple Leafs, they had a great start to the season, beating the Kitchener Panthers, then coming off a loss against the Barrie Bay Cats. They end up losing that game 6-1, and they're trying to get back on track as well.
For most parts of that game up there in Barrie, it really did look like the Leafs had a chance to come back into it. I mean, they played a sound game. You see the big kind of swing was Dennis DeBanning getting a second home run of the season, and that's going to be a big factor going down the line with how hot can DeBanning stay throughout the entirety of the year. But really, throughout the majority of that game, it felt like the Leafs were kind of scratching and clawing, but they just couldn't answer the starting pitching on the other side in Garces, and they want to come home, get back on the right foot. Again, the wins early in the seasons, they mean a lot right now with the shortened playoffs.
Yeah, I thought Marcus Connect getting a couple of doubles as well. I think that's going to be a staple for him this year, just trying to find some bats. We know Marcus Connect has lots of power, and I caught up with the always optimistic Rob Butler before the game. As you know, he's probably beaming at the start of the season just with the Toronto Maple Leafs getting the win, and optimistic about the Toronto Maple Leafs' chances as well. Here's my conversation with him. All right, joined now by Maple Leafs coach Rob Butler. Rob, I just want to kind of talk about opening day. I mean, there were so many people here at the ballpark. What was it like just looking up at the hillside on opening day here last game and seeing all those fans on the hillside?
Well, we couldn't believe the fans endured the cold like they did. It was good to see. We were a little worried there, but right before the game started, it was a little empty. But then, man, by the second inning, it was jammed in here. The vibe was great. We got a new young team. We got Puig here, so it's so much more exciting baseball to see. And I think the fans got a good show that day. So it's hopefully today's the same turnout.
So you guys are 1-1 to start the year. I mean, how would you kind of assess the start to the season so far for Toronto?
It's been great. It's great to see, a great chance for me to see the new guys. We got to kind of see who's going to work well here, playing in this environment, playing at a level a lot of guys aren't used to yet. So I'm going to give them lots of opportunities to work out whatever they need to work out, because I know playing in this league, especially for a new player, is very difficult. Playing for Toronto is very difficult. I always say we're the Yankees of the Canadian Baseball League now. So. But it was good to get everybody out there, get everybody going, get Puig going, get him comfortable, get him into an environment that he also is not used to, right? Yeah. So it's different for these guys, but they're going to learn, the way the team rolls, the way we go about our business, and by the end of the year we'll be flying.
So this is a question I think you would have a bit of perspective on. You've had a lot of media attention in the past. You've had a ton of interviews. I don't know if you've ever had as much as Yasiel Puig did on opening day, with all the reporters trying to get an interview with him. He was, out on the field for maybe an hour after the game. Just from your kind of experience with that, with your major league career, and even last year, I know there was a lot of that as well. Is that a little bit tough to kind of deal with, or how do you think you kind of dealt with that?
Well, you get used to it. It is definitely difficult to deal with. It does become it becomes a little bit of a distraction. You kind of lose your routines and your kind of feel. It does something to you when it's too much of attention put on you, a lot of eyeballs are on you. So, I mean, he's so used to it. He's an enigma. He's somebody that's completely different and almost shocking that he's here, right? He's such a big name and someone that a lot of people follow. And, he's had a very interesting journey through baseball and, one that's continuing. So hopefully it all works out and, he comes out in the end of it okay. But, I know it can be really, really challenging. For me personally, it was, I was just a kid growing up in Toronto and I ended up playing for the Toronto Blue Jays with zero experience about how to deal with that kind of pressure and that kind of interest in, my story, being just a kid who grew up in Danforth and ended up playing the big leagues with the Blue Jays, especially during a time when we're winning World Series. So, but he's a pro and he knows how to handle it, right? I've gotten better at it. I've gotten more used to it. I don't take anything to heart anymore. I don't make it a part of my whole fragment of my body anymore like it used to. It used to really, it can envelope you and kind of, turn you into something that you're not, and you end up putting more pressure on yourself that shouldn't be there. So, I don't do that anymore. I'm an old man now. I've learned my lessons.
Rob, Yadiel Martinez today. I know he had a great start in his first game. What are you kind of expecting from him today?
Do what he always does, right? He's got great experience as a pitcher, and he's a gamer, and I even think the first day he was a little bit excited, to be pitching for Toronto. So I think he's going to settle in now and, get his pitches working. Guys can kind of overthrow and the pitches don't work the way they should be working. And I think, as he gets into his second, third starts, he's going to really get comfortable and all the pitches will be working and he's going to be a great pitcher to play behind.
All right, Rob, thanks for this. Good luck today.
Yeah, thank you.
Get to see Elliott Hill there from the Bushmen throwing out the first pitch. They were well represented once again on opening day. Before we get to our next thing here, did you see how many articles reference the Bushmen?
No, I didn't.
There was as much Bushman talk in articles. Like I'm reading articles on The Athletic, in the Toronto Star, in the Sun, like media outlets that aren't even from Toronto, and they're interviewing the Bushmen.
That's awesome.
I read an article by Dan Robson, who just happened to be one of my professors in the university as well. He was writing an article for the Athletic, one of the big writers there, and like the Bushmen had more quotes than Yasiel Puig had in the article. So they've been getting a whole bunch of media attention, and deservingly so, throughout this season. Fantastic matchup we have today. Thomas West here alongside Zach Benoit. Yasiel Puig is someone who we heard Rob Butler talk about in that interview there. And so after the interview, I just said, did you expect Yasiel to hit 2 home runs on opening day? He said, no, I expected him to hit 4. And it honestly did feel that way if he didn't get those 2 walks on opening day, because he's a dangerous hitter in this league.
Yeah, and I mean, I have a feeling we're going to see his walk numbers kind of continue to rise as the season goes on, because, you pitch him in the zone and you miss, he's going to do damage, and he already proved that on opening day. He sent 2 long balls over that left field wall, but I mean, it's just a big presence in the lineup, and it makes it difficult to kind of try to pitch to this lineup, because you want to try to avoid him, but the guy right behind him is just as hot, and the guy ahead of him, I mean, he's in the cover off the baseball, and Marcus Connect batting .500.
Yeah, an OPS of 2.750. Unbelievable. I don't think he'll be able to maintain that, but surely will be well over 1,000 throughout the season. Brings light tower power to this Christie Pitts field. So, Hamilton Cardinals, hungry for a win, come off a loss on their opening day at home to this Kitchener Panther team. This is the lineup that they're throwing out today. Carlos Dominguez is in right field leading things off. Then Tyler Duncan is the center fielder. Need that lineup back up there.
I got you, good sir.
Darlin Herman, he's batting third. He's the second baseman, batting third. Angel Guerrero is the DH. He was in the outfield in Game 1. Brandon Nicoll, who has been a Toronto Maple Leaf killer last year in the Inter-County Baseball League. Evan Magill is the catcher today. And then the bottom 3 in the lineup, Reyes, Tanner Rempel, and Yolki Pena rounding out this lineup for the Hamilton Cardinals, who, probably see this Toronto Maple Leafs team that, yes, beat the Kitchener. Teams are starting to kind of figure out what you got to do with this Toronto Maple Leaf lineup, and a lot of it is pitching around Yasiel Puig.
Yeah, that was kind of what we saw in that game in Barrie. I mean, again, he had multiple walks in that game as well, and that's when your guys around him need to step it up, and we saw that happen with the home run again by Dennis DeBanning, and then Marcus Connect, like you said, he just keeps getting on base. But you have those factors, You know the top of the lineup is going to give you production. Now it's those guys towards the bottom where you need to have those pesky hitters. We've seen it in the other Toronto team here in the Blue Jays. You have guys up on the lineup like Andres Jimenez and Ernie Clement that do that job. Now you need that here for the Maple Leafs and some of their guys like Kirk Gibson, say Spencer Ross, who is now actually leading off today to try to lengthen out the lineup.
So these are the CBL standings as of right now. A lot of people would have predicted that the Welland Jackfish would get off to a good start. They did. Chatham-Kent got a resounding win in their first game. The Guelph Royals, who are now 2-0 to start the year, they haven't been able to produce a whole lot of offense, and they're giving up a lot of runs on their side as well. And this Maple Leafs team sitting there at 1-1. Like there wasn't a lot of people that were predicting this Maple Leafs team to be a playoff team this year. But I mean, just from the first two games, like what would be the optimistic approach to what would happen this year for the Maple Leafs and maybe what they want to see today as well?
I think the big thing with this Maple Leafs team is the continued growth of their pitching staff. We saw it in the first game. Yadiel Martinez gave you a terrific start. He did everything you could have asked out of him. The bullpen, the guys came in a little bit of a stutter, a little bit of a slip up, but then you had Pops coming out at the end, closed the door resoundingly for the Leafs. And I think if you can continue to have that continued growth of players in that pitching staff, you get some guys coming back. We talked about Florentino, we talked about DePaula. Those guys are hopefully going to be coming here very, very soon. So I think you get those bodies, you just get more reps. The weather gets warmer, the pitching staff gets a lot deeper. I think that's going to be what propels Toronto to more victories.
Okay, so let's talk about Yadiel Martinez a bit there, because you mentioned him. He really gave his team a chance to win in the first game of the season, and it was, very cold. It was like 10, 12 degrees here at the pits. This is going to be a much different environment. I mean, the ball is going to be moving differently just with the environment that he's pitching in today. He was great in his first start, gave up the 3 runs over 5 innings. Maple Leafs ended up winning that ball game on the back of 5 good innings. They didn't have a ton of pitchers on opening day, but I'm just thinking for a guy like Yadiel Martinez, is it kind of this same approach as opening day, or does this much warmer weather change things at all?
Yeah, and the big thing that I always kind of looked at the last couple of years of the Maple Leafs is they had good pitching. They never had that certified number one. And I think Yadiel Martinez is a guy that you can kind of look at and he can be that number one guy for this Maple Leafs team. He just goes out there and does his job to perfection. Strikes out batters, weak contact, and the biggest thing, he does not walk batters. He will always fight in the zone. He will try to make contact because he trusts his defense behind him, and I think that's going to be a big factor here in today's game as well.
And they'll be taking on a former Guelph Royal and Hector Jan, who pitched the last 2 seasons in Guelph, now a member of this Hamilton Cardinals team. Back in 23, had an ERA of 4.40. You look back to 24, had an ERA of 3.73. And it was safe to say Hector Jan has been one of the better pitchers in the Inter-County Baseball League over the last couple seasons, and probably looking to improve again here in the CBL.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing a pitcher in the CBL can give you is just length, give you innings, and that's exactly what Hector Jan does. You see what he did in his last 2 seasons back in 2024. It was 72 1/3 innings pitched. Last year, 47 on the dot pitched. So, you get those innings. He's able to go deep into ball games. He's able to give that bullpen a rest and give it to those big guys down there that can shut the door for your team. So if you're the Maple Leafs, draw up that pitch count, lengthen out those at-bats, make those counts deep. Those are the biggest factors for the Leafs.
Players are lining up for the national anthems here at Christie Pitts, and we'll be back in just a couple of moments with first pitch. Oh, welcome to Dominico Field. Thomas West here alongside Zach Benoit. Yadiel Martinez taking the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs on a beautiful day for baseball here at Christie Pitt, Zach.
Yeah, tremendous day. Not a cloud in the sky. The sun is shining. It was funny at the start of the game. We were setting up. You said to me, "I wish there was some wind," and I couldn't agree with you more. That's how nice of a day it is here at Christie Pitt, and it should be a fun one with the Cardinals driving down the QW to come play this game.
Yadiel Martinez on the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Zach did a great job giving his team a chance to win last time out.
Yeah, really liked what Yadiel Martinez did his last time out. It looked like towards the end of the outing, he was starting to struggle with his control, struggle with the command, but he was able to fix it, and he looked very, very strong. Going 5 innings, gave up 3, only walked 1, and that's going to be the key thing going throughout all these games is that walk rate. He pitches to batters, and he does a tremendous job doing that.
Hamilton Cardinals coming off a loss last game. The Toronto Maple Leafs coming off a loss last game. Both teams trying to get back in the win column here at Christie Pitt. Dominguez will lead things off for the Hamilton Cardinals here this afternoon. Carlos Dominguez had 5 at-bats in his last game. A couple of strikeouts as well. So that pitch is in there for a strike from Yadiel Martinez.
I think the big thing for the side of Hamilton, we mentioned in the pregame show, is that they want to get out on offense early in this ball game. Then expect them to kind of jump over some of these early pitches in the counts.
1-1 way up and in from Yadiel Martinez. He did a pretty good job locating pitches, but Zach, it was the off-speed pitch that was really good last game as well.
Yeah, I think the off-speed was kind of what really made the outing what it was. It was just tremendous stuff, tremendous control in the outside half.
2-2, hit on the ground. This one's gobbled up by Herron Mandalay. Flips the throw on to first in time. That's Kurt Gibson over there playing first base for the Toronto Maple Leafs, getting his first start with his new team.
I've been so impressed in the early stages with Herron Mandalay and what he's able to do by controlling that infield. And on a play like that, running to his right, he's still able just to make a really easy grab and throw on the run like that. And just does a really good job, and it just sounds that defense on the infield.
Home run champ and league MVP Tyler Duncan now steps in, and he takes first pitch up and away. Another guy making his first start for the Toronto Maple Leafs is Jacob Bonzon, who's playing third base. Mandalay at short, Spencer Ross at second, Kirk Gibson at first. Matt Brandt, who's caught every game so far for the Toronto Maple Leafs, doing the catching behind the plate. 1-1 to Duncan, and he fouls this one off over to the left.
Yeah, this is a guy that the Cardinals want to see start swinging a hot bat. Again, he was held hitless in his last time. Did walk twice in that game against Kitchener, but 0 for 3.
That pitch just outside. Matt Brandt was getting ready to toss that down to Bonzon at third base. The outfield for the Toronto Maple Leafs, Marcus Connect, Dennis DeBanning, and Yasiel Puig from right to left. Duncan takes a little further outside this time, and the count runs full.
You mentioned in the pregame, the top of this order, last game out, they weren't able to get a hit, but they combined 0-13 on that game against the Kitchener Panthers.
Full count pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Big punch out for Yadiel Martinez with the off-speed pitch. And now there's 2 away. I just wanted to circle back to your comments about Herron Mandalay over there at shortstop. I mean, it's been a while since the Maple Leafs have felt really comfortable with a good, solid defensive shortstop. I mean, boy, does he ever bring a lot of stability over in that area.
How he fields the ball and kind of his mechanics and demeanor as he goes through, it kind of reminds me of the defensive ability of Troy Tulowitzki, where you're always able to be off balance but still make the play.
This one's lined into the outfield by Herron, and this one's gobbled up by DeBanning in center, and Herron is aboard with a 2-out single.
Yeah, I'll be preaching it all day long. These Cardinals, they're going to be wanting to swing the bats early. Again, they just didn't get that offense going last time against Kitchener, and they want to get it to roll here today. Again, very hitter-friendly ballpark. The wind conditions, it's complete opposite of what it was on opening day. We see the flag. They're blowing left to right. Everything is going to be pulled up for these lefty hitters.
Now it's Angel Guerrero stepping in. Guerrero was out in left field, now the DH today for his second game with the Hamilton Cardinals. The 1-0. This one's chopped on the ground to Spencer Ross at second, flips on to Kirk Gibson, and that'll do it for the Hamilton Cardinals in the first inning. We head to the bottom half. Still 0-0 here at Christie Pitts. Hector Yan on the mound for the Hamilton Cardinals. This will be a much anticipated debut, Zach, because, man, he has been fantastic with the Guelph Royals over the last couple seasons.
Yeah, Hector Yan has been tremendous. A guy that's able to go deep into games for you, and I think that was the big thing that Hamilton saw when they acquired him. Is just somebody that can be a stable presence at the top of that pitching rotation, as well as some guy you compare with Owen Boone, who has been just tremendous throughout his entire career here in the league.
Spencer Ross, who's been off to a good start with the Toronto Maple Leafs, putting the bat on the ball a whole lot. He's moved up to the leadoff spot. That's where he was last game against the Barrie Baycats. First pitch from Jan in there for a strike. Good matchup for Spencer Ross today with the lefty and Jan on the mound. Spencer Ross does not mind taking that ball the other way into the outfield. This time he hits it the other way and slashes it off the dugout in front of Luis Bernardo, the manager for Hamilton Cardinals.
I mentioned that, you know, the Leafs are shaking up their lineup a little bit, try to lengthen it out more, and that's exactly what you do when you put Spencer Ross at the top of the order. You just kind of push everybody back down one spot, and it allows for more, you know, presence on the base paths when you have your big hitters in Puig and DeBanning coming up at 3 and 4.
Jan noticed that Spencer Ross was late on the fastball, so tried to blow him away with that one, but it was way up and in, and here's the 1-2 pitch, up and away once again. 2-2 now.
Yeah, it looks like Jan is just a little bit amped up right now on the mound. He's finishing a lot of these fastballs high and away on the arm side, not coming down full through his pitch.
And Ross takes strike 3 called on the inner half. Jan crossed him up, and then that's the first out of the ball game for Hector Jan. First strikeout as a Hamilton Cardinal for Jan as well. So here's the lineup for the Maple Leafs today. You just saw Spencer Ross, Marcus Connect, who had a pair of doubles last game batting second, Yasiel Puig and Dennis DeBanning, who have been a great duo in that 3-4 spot. Jordan Mandalay, the shortstop. Mike Cecchetto is the DH. Kirk Gibson playing first base, and then Bonzon at the bottom of the order for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And the first pitch to Marcus Connect is up and away. Matt Brandt, who's the catcher, is batting ninth. Yasiel Puig looming on deck. Marcus Connect did a great job of getting on for him last game, although Yasiel Puig, remember, we've talked so much about the walk record because we had Ryan Dos Santos on the team. He's on pace to break that this year if teams keep walking him at the rate they have been.
But how good has this 2-3-4 in the batting order really been for the Maple Leafs? I mean, you have three guys who all have pure power in their bat, but two of them have just kind of taken that step back of just get on base a little bit more, allow for the people behind you to hit, and that's Marcus Connect has done that to a T so far this year.
1-2 now on Marcus. Hector Herron has been pounding the strike zone early. Now misses up and away, and something to watch out for. Jan slipped off the mound there as he delivered that pitch.
Been a couple of high fastballs so far by Jan, and it just kind of seems like he's still trying to figure out that grip to the pitch. We saw it was a beautiful lone inside fastball that got Ross.
And the 2-2 pitch swung on and missed by Marcus Connect. Two batters, two strikeouts for Hector Jan, and here comes Puig. Always steps up to the plate to a thunderous applause here at Christie Pitts. Once again today, there were fans lined up in center field trying to get his autograph before the game. As Puig takes a strike on the inner half, didn't like that one as he looks back at the home plate umpire. Neither did the Puig faithful here at Christie Pitts as well. Yasiel batting .500 to start his Canadian Baseball League debut with a .2750 OPS as he rips one foul down the left side, and Jan out in front 0-2.
Yeah, it looked like that fastball there was left high by Jan, and somehow still Puig able to get to it and just turn on it so quick down that left field line. And again, you know what his bat is. You know the resume that he brings. He has a very quick bat through the zone, and he can get his hands inside on a baseball very easily.
There's the 0-2. Puig takes inside. That is a dangerous place to live for Hector Jan. Fastballs on the inner half to Yasiel Puig, but he got that one in enough.
And he got the first pitch of the at-bat. It was a fastball on the inside half. He got the call. That time just went a little bit too far in.
Now Puig takes in the dirt. Yasiel Puig he's not here to walk, but he just hasn't got a lot of pitches to hit early on in the season. Teams are playing it cautious right away. He had a 3-0 count last game in a game against the Barrie Baycats, and he set his bat down on home plate because he was frustrated that he wasn't getting a strike to hit. Now the 2-2. Strike 3 called. Hector Jan paints the bottom of the zone. Puig goes down. Jan strikes out the side in the first inning as we head to the second here in Toronto. Well, back here at Dominico Field, Yadi and Martinez out for a second inning of work. This is Brandon Nicoll leading things off. Hits one on the ground, and that one stopped by Bozon. Throws on to first, and a good play there by Bonzon for his first bit of action here at Christie Pitts. One pitch, one out for Yadiel Martinez.
And how big is that first batter there in Brandon Nicoll, who you mentioned, he has been a Leafs killer throughout his career. And, first pitch swing in there, and it's a laser right to Bonzan over there at third.
That'll be a good sign for Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, Yadiel Martinez is a great pitcher, doesn't walk a lot of guys. He strikes out a lot of guys. And, maybe the Maple Leafs thinking, I mean, it's always dangerous to find the strike zone here at Christie Pitch just because of the home run possibilities. But, if Yadiel Martinez could be efficient this year as well as kind of striking out those guys, that would be huge for the Maple Leafs. Now this one's lofted in the air. Dennis DeBanning in medium depth center field comes in and makes the catch. And Magill, the catcher, is retired. That's efficiency.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you're going to get out of Yadiel Martinez. Weak contact. He's a guy that doesn't like missing the zone. He likes to pitch to contact, but he'll also take his fair bit of strikeouts as well. He had 4 in the first game. And early on here, he just does a really good job of just weak contact, letting his defense behind him work. He has so much trust in those guys behind him.
Reyes up to the plate now. The 2-0. Right down the middle. Reyes was taking until he got a strike there, knowing that Martinez got the first 2 outs quickly. And now this one chopped foul towards the Maple Leafs dugout.
Yeah, just again, really good pitch mix here by Martinez. He's just keeping the batter in Reyes just really off balance, doesn't know what's coming next, and he's doing a good job commanding the 2 quadrants, inner and the outer.
Trying to get out of this second inning. A 2-2 to Reyes. And this one's hit in the air, deep to left field. Back goes Puig, and he's out of room. That one is gone. Reyes with his first home run as a Hamilton Cardinal, and they lead 1-0.
Yeah, he absolutely lofted that ball, and it sailed right into the park in the back. But behind the play, out in left field, Puig was reaching for the shoulder because he tried to get up there on the fence. And he's taken a minute here as Reyes got every piece of that baseball.
Yeah, that is concerning. You could see right away grabbed his shoulder after running into the fence. Now, we haven't mentioned this yet today. The Maple Leafs have a warning track. That's the first time that we've seen that here at Christie Pitts. That was put in since the last game here 7 days ago. Slow nubber on the ground. Mandalay calling for it, and he kicks off his glove. That'll probably go down as an infield hit for Tanner Rempel.
Yeah, and Rempel was just hustling out of the box there no matter what, and it was going to be a close play either way. But in that grass on the infield patch, it's always tough to see how it's going to bounce.
Still 2 outs in the inning. Martinez got through the first batters quickly, and then Reyes with the home run, an infield single, and the pitch count going up a little bit. Reyes was in the Cincinnati Reds system for a couple of years. This one's chopped on the ground to first, foul. Highest he ever got, the Chattanooga Lookouts in AA. That was back in 2021. 0-2 now on Yolki Pena, Montreal, Quebec native. That pitch low, throw down from Brandt is in time. He got him. Tanner Rempel caught stealing. A good throw from Matt Brandt behind the plate. And Yadiel Martinez and the Maple Leafs get out of it, but not before the home run by Reyes, and it's 1-0 Hamilton. Maple Leaf star. The 2-2. This one's hit in the air towards left field. It's got some carry back to the wall, and it is gone. Yasiel Puig in his second at-bat in the Canadian Baseball League has gone yard, and Christy Pitts was not able to contain this one. Oh, welcome back to Dominico Field, and it's Dennis DeBanning coming to the plate. And I thought this was a great quote from opening day. He said, "I remember playing MLB The Show 15." This is talking about Yasiel Puig. He was on the cover of it. Now we are teammates. He is definitely someone you can learn a lot from him. I'm going to pick his brain this year. And I just thought this photo, too, was so amazing because it's Yasiel Puig running right in front of Dennis DeBanning. He's talking about him being on the cover of The Show 15. And I just thought that was so cool. In the very first game he plays with them, one of the Maple Leafs photographers snaps that photo. So we had to make sure we got the edit of the MLB The Show 15. You like that?
That's pretty good. Yeah, I remember playing that game.
Yeah. So here is Dennis DeBanning coming to the plate facing the lefty Hector Yan. DeBanning has homered in each of the first 2 games for the Toronto Maple Leafs and takes a strike. Now takes up and away. One and one now on Dennis. Two and one.
It's a beautiful day, and you can see the hillsides are filling up. It's another probably record-setting crowd that we're seeing here. I mean, back-to-back games here at the pits, and the attendance, it's magnificent.
Jordan Mandalay awaiting on deck as Dennis DeBanning takes ball 3. Evan Magill is doing the catching today for Hamilton. And DeBanning fouls that one off at home plate. There are more people here today than opening day, and that was announced as an attendance of 4,000 here at Christie Pitts.
Yeah, there is a lot.
The 3-2. Inside to hit him right on the foot. It was going to be ball 4 anyway, and now DeBanning will head down to first base, and he is shaking out that foot and maybe a little bit angry as well as he heads down to first.
Yeah, he's a guy that wants to swing the bat in. He's also known for his speed, so those ones are going to be stingers, especially off the legs. I think the big thing that we don't notice here from like our vantage point on the hill is under the tree down the right field side, there are so many people that sit over there. You know, we get the angle here down the left field side, and it's always full here. But, during the home opener game, I went for a walk around during the half inning, and I looked up here, and I was like, my Lord, there might be more people on the right side.
Speaking of guys who like to swing the bat, Jordan Mandalay walked just 9 times last year. Can't swing at that one, though. It was just up and in from Hector Yan. You're noticing a little bit of control issues here from Yan. The hit batter, that pitch missed well up and in.
Yeah, it looks like he's just kind of overcompensating the issues he's having in the first. Everything was arm high and wide. Now everything low and inside on these righties.
1-0, huge cut. Pitch was in the dirt, and now it's 1-1. Hector Yan also has not felt super comfortable on this mound here at Christie Pitts. I saw in warm-up he was kind of toeing the rubber a little bit, and then we saw him actually fall off the mound on one of his pitches. The 1-1 runner goes. DeBanning has great speed. Saw him go first to third on a play on opening day, and it feels like he's actually a little bit faster this year. I know he's been doing a lot of work with Marcus Connect in the batting cages and maybe hitting the squat rack a bit as well early on in the year.
Yeah, he's always had tremendous speed, even dating back to his OCAA days with the Humber Hawks. He was a guy that if he was on base, he was going to cause havoc. And Well, he's going to try to do that again this year. He got a great jump on Jan there, but Mandalay has to protect in that 2-strike count.
The 1-2 fouled off. That was one of those pitches where I was going to say Mandalay was just kind of intentionally fouling that ball off, but then I saw him hit himself in the head with his bat, so I think maybe he did think that was one of those balls that he could dish into the opposite field.
Yeah, this is the guy that the Maple Leafs want to start getting going here in the season early on, because when you have his bat, hitting the way it usually does, he is a red-hot hitter.
The 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. Jan got him to chase, and that's an interesting strikeout as well. Jordan Mandalay struck out only 9 times last season, and Hector Jan, the lefty, gets him to swing over the top of that one.
Looks like he had Mandalay a little bit confused there. The swing, it did not look comfortable. It looked like it was more so, he was expecting fastball and it was off speed.
Here's Mike Cecchetto. Picked up his first hit of the year in the game against the Barrie Baycats. Takes strike 1. The 0-1 pitch to Cecchetto, the Leafs DH today. And he lines this one to second base. It's dropped. The tag applied to Dennis DeBanning. Throw on to first base, and that'll end up being a rather nifty double play for the Hamilton Cardinals, and that'll do it for the Toronto Maple Leafs. 1-0 Hamilton Cardinals. We'll be back in a couple moments. Well, welcome back to a packed house at Christie Pitts. Jordan Mandalay out for a third inning of work for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He'll face Yolki Pena to lead things off.
Pena was up to bat during that toss from Brandt down to second to get Rempel.
Pena hits one hard on the ground and through the left side for a base hit to lead off the top of the third inning.
Yeah, he saw a lot of pitches during the at-bat last inning, and that time just jumps all over a first pitch fastball, taking it the opposite way. It looked like Mandalay at shortstop. He was just off to the side a little bit.
Pena had just one plate appearance in Hamilton's last game against Kitchener. Dominguez squaring to bunt, gets it down. Martinez has it, throws to first just in time. Yadiel Martinez bobbled that ball just ever so slightly, but was still able to stay composed and make the play over to first base. Good bunt, though, by Dominguez. That advances the runner, and a runner in scoring position for Tyler Duncan is never a bad thing if you're the Hamilton Cardinals.
Yeah, and, again, the top of the order, the top three, they went 0 for 13 last game, and Dominguez, that's a good job of just doing a job, getting somebody into scoring position. You have the power bats in Herron and Duncan. And now you give him an opportunity to try to get an RBI.
Good pitch from Yadiel Martinez. There's strike one. Tyler Duncan, the former 30th round draft pick by the Seattle Mariners back in 2016. Here's the 0-1 pitch in the dirt. Tyler Duncan, though, most known around these parts for being an incredible player in his time in the Inter-County Baseball League. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Up and away. Also a home run derby champion, which gets referenced a lot from some of that big power that he supplies from the left side.
Yeah, we've seen him clear fences with ease, and he's done it here before over that right field wall.
The 2-1 pitch. Outside, ticks off the glove of Matt Brandt, but he stays with it, and the count's 3-1 now on Tyler Duncan.
You can see here, Martinez, the plan is just to kind of stay on the outside half to Duncan, but now you're in a 3-1 count. You got to go in on him. And this is a perfect count for Duncan to try to, break a game open here, get an RBI.
First base is open, though, with a right-handed batter on deck. 3-1 pitch outside, and by the reaction from Yadiel Martinez, I think he meant to throw that pitch in the strike zone. And now there's 2 on base for Hamilton here with 1 away.
Well, you have the force anywhere now if you are Martinez, so it's a bit of a gift and a curse. Obviously, you hate giving up base runners, but with the opportunity with the ground ball to get out of the inning, that's still a positive here for the pitcher.
Darlin Herron comes to the plate now. First pitch from Martinez is up and away. Darlin Herron played baseball in the Dominican Republic for a couple seasons, was the MVP in 2024 of the LNVB in the DR. Also represented his country in the Pan Am Games in 2023.
Well, we also know how good of a connection the Hamilton Cardinals have with Dominican Republic baseball. Last year they employed Fernando Rodney, and you can definitely imagine that there were some trips taken down, and Rodney had a little bit of influence on some of the players that they acquired this year.
There's the 1-1 pitch. And this one's hit into the outfield for a base hit. This will score a run. Big arm from Yasiel Puig, though. This throw is going to be cut off by Jordan Mandalay. And it's 2-0 Hamilton Cardinals, and Yasiel Puig's kind of staring down Mandalay. That throw is on line. It would have been interesting to see a play at the plate there.
Yeah, I think it was actually Jacob Bonzen, the third baseman, who tried to take that on a hop. But, yeah, you're absolutely right. We've seen Puig, and we know the arm that he has. He unleashed one there, and it looked like it had a chance of just kind of taking a 3 bounce to home plate. But Bonzen tried to play it on the hop, and just double up the lead here for the Cardinals.
There would have been a play at home plate there. That throw was a cannon from the outfield. This one's hit on the ground. Ross has it. Flipped to second for 1. Mandalay on to first. Just in time. Double play. Yadiel Martinez gets Guerrero to ground into a twin killing. The Maple Leafs give up 1, and it's 2-0 Hamilton as we head to the bottom of the third. Kirk Gibson, the first baseman for the Maple Leafs, leading things off here at Christie Pitts. I'm Thomas West alongside Zach Benoit. Hector Jan on the mound for the Hamilton Cardinals. And his first pitch to Gibson is ball one.
Yeah, Jan has had his fair share of kind of command issues so far today, but I mean, he has been able to settle it down. He has 4 strikeouts already through 2 innings of work.
Gibson takes way inside. Safe to say the Hamilton Cardinals are happy with what they see in his first 2 innings of work.
Yeah, and I think he's had those issues, but he's been able to control the pitches late in the counts.
High chopper to third base. And in time to get Kirk Gibson. That's Reyes over there at third base. Brandon Nicoll is the shortstop. Darlin Herman at second. And Tanner Rempel, as he was last game, at first. Here's Jacob Bonzon for the Maple Leafs. Takes up and away, ball one.
Again, the bottom half of the order, this is what the Leafs kind of have been needing to turn it up a bit. The top half has been tremendous so far this season. It's been the bottom that just kind of needs to have people on base when the order flips over. That's been the key thing for the Maple Leafs when they're scoring runs.
Bonzon gets a piece of it and fouls it to the backstop.
I was going to say, I think he got 2 pieces of it. He fouled it off initially, and then with the backswing, he hit it.
Jacob Bonzon played for the Roanoke Maroons in the NCAA Division III. Did that for 4 seasons between 2020 and 2023. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And he pops this one into the outfield. It's shallow and playable. And that's the second out of the inning. Outfield for the Hamilton Cardinals has Yolki Pena, Tyler Duncan, and Carlos Dominguez from left to right. This is the number 9 spot for the Maple Leafs, and Matt Brandt, who's the catcher. And he takes a strike.
We have some different walk-up songs here after opening day. I'm always a big fan of seeing what these players cook up and what they decide to go with.
Yeah, so that I think is more the product of not everyone had submitted their songs yet before opening day. So now you're starting to hear what the actual songs are. Here's the 1-1. One of the Maple Leafs staff, Michael Rubari, I was talking to him about that. He said that it was Taylor Swift for anyone who didn't pick their song on opening day. So I think we heard a bunch of those songs. Here's the 1-1. A pitch outside, 2-2.
I think the one that caught me off guard last season, Marcus Connect had Swag Surf. This year, he walked to Footloose.
Yeah, well, Marcus Connect had like 6 walk-up songs last year.
I'm so used to just hearing that one, you know?
That was the best one for sure.
Was.
The 2-2, fouled off. Oh, Matt Brandt did a good job just to get a piece of that one. That ball was up and in. Hector Jan is cruising so far. 4 strikeouts for 2 2/3. And make that 5. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Top of the order coming up for the Maple Leafs in the bottom of the 4th. For now, we head to the top half of the 4th inning, and the Hamilton Cardinals trying to add on. Well, back here at Dominico Field, and Brandon Nicoll, the Leafs killer last season. Boy, Zach, was he ever unbelievable. This are his stats. He played a lot of games against the Maple Leafs this year, 23 at-bats, an average of .478, 6 home runs in those 23 at-bats last year. How about that?
I mean, just tremendous what he was able to do. A .478 average against a team. I mean, truly, I think he has the mantle of Leafs killer. I think everyone here knows that. Hamilton, they know that, and they wanted him to get as many at-bats as he can against this team.
And it is Brandon Nicoll leading things off for the Hamilton Cardinals. First pitch to him is low. Now, this is a new pitcher that he never would have seen on the Maple Leafs last year in Yadiel Martinez, because he was traded over from the Kitchener Panthers, and Nicoll swings and misses. And it's 1-1. Should mention as well, last 3 games for the Maple Leafs against the Hamilton Cardinals have not gone well. That was back in the IBL. As Nicoll takes a strike. These are the last 3 games. Hamilton, 11 runs, 13 runs, 18 runs, dating back to June 15th against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So offense has been prominent, whether... Well, actually, all 3 of those games were here at Christie Pitts. And now Nicoll skies this one. Spencer Ross is calling for it and then gives way to the sure-handed Jordan Mandalay, who makes the catch, and that's out number 1. And Brandon Nicoll finally retired.
Well, I mean, if you're the Maple Leafs coach staff, you see it. He's 0 for 2 on the day. It's a sigh of relief there with what he's able to do with the bat.
2-0 Hamilton Cardinals as Magill, the catcher, steps to the plate. Evan Magill fouls this one off. 1 for 3 last game against Kitchener. Two runs for Hamilton. One came in on a Darlin Herman single, and a Reyes home run over the left field wall. Also, by the way, we mentioned that Yasiel Puig was kind of grabbing his shoulder after running in. He made that great throw from the outfield, so that's a good sign for the Maple Leafs. And this one's chopped on the ground to first, foul. Yeah, he's snare there by Gibson.
He's been getting work in between innings on the bench. I looked down a couple of times, see the athletic trainer kind of just working on that shoulder, make sure it's okay. And, well, he's gotten the green lights, keep playing.
Because if you remember, Yasiel Puig in Major League Baseball, he was known for his defense just as much of his offense. Like a cannon for arm was something that he was really known for. As this one's popped into the air, Yasiel Puig coming over, calls for it, makes the catch, and that's out number 2. And it was funny because, all the focus has been on the offense of Puig and how he's going to dominate the Canadian Baseball League, but the very first play that he had in the outfield in the first game of the season against Kitchener, he made a fantastic catch running up against the wall, and he was playing right field in that game.
Yeah, we talked about Marcus Connect. He's always been the right fielder for this team. He shifted over to left to give Puig that familiarity that he's been so used to. But here in this game, you see they're back to Connect in right, Puig in left. And I think it's just more so, Yasiel able to play really anywhere that he needs.
Reyes, who homered in his last at bat, is ahead in the count 3-0. Martinez has 2 away in the inning. See if he attacks Reyes here. That one's right down the middle. Taken all the way. Reyes was just trying to get on base. And that one's outside ball 4, so he will head down to first base. This is how the inning kind of got away from Yadiel Martinez back in the second. Had the home run by Reyes, then he walked a batter, and the pitch count got up a little bit in the inning after he got, I think, the first 2 outs on 3 pitches.
Yeah, it's the exact formula. You got the first 2 outs, and then somehow Reyes able to make it on base, and now you have the threat of his speed. He displayed it last time up.
That was pitch number 51 delivered there by Yadiel Martinez here in the 4th inning. So if he can get a quick out here on Tanner Rempel, I mean, the pitch count is still very much intact. Reyes takes his lead at first. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Rempel well out in front of that off-speed pitch there from Yadiel Martinez.
Yeah, you can tell he was out in front because you heard a very big audible gasp from the crowd. Everybody loud on that one.
Oh, and 2. And it's upstairs as Martinez tried to climb the ladder. Yadiel Martinez, 30-year-old pitcher on this Maple Leafs team at a Cuba. Maple Leafs have a bunch of Cuban players on the team this year. And Rempel reaches out and gets a piece of it. Was second in the Intercounty Baseball League in strikeouts a couple seasons ago, had 91 of them. Career array of .524 coming into this season.
And again, the main thing has always been his ability to pitch to contact, and well, he's going to be able to take those strikeouts when needed.
The 1-2 pitch fouled off again. Also, in October of 2025, had a no-hitter with his home team in Cuba. So when we talk about pitch count, I mean, he's a guy who, you know, he can get up into the 90-100 pitch range. He's stretched out here to start this season. The 1-2 pitch. Popped up, foul behind home plate. some boos. You might hear some boos from the crowd. That was because the guy that was trying to make the catch did not catch it.
That was louder than normal, too. Everybody's really engaged here with the game.
You know awesome. What? This is the most fans we've probably seen here in 10 years at Christie Pitts.
This definitely rivals the home opener from last year.
The 1-2 pitch, upstairs, 2-2. There's people lining the outfield fence. They're everywhere.
You look at it over, you can see the concession stand. There's a big old line for that.
You don't want to say like you're at capacity in a public park, but I mean, this is almost it. Here's the 2-2. Popped up on the infield. This one trying to stay in play. Kirk Gibson, he disappeared. Did he catch it? He did not. That ball did stay inside the fence, though.
Well, the wind kind of took control of it. It looked like a simple pop-up, but you can see the flags blowing left to right. Once that gets up in the jet stream, it just keeps tailing towards the fence, and Gibson just kind of loses track of where he is on the field. That's just another lifeline here for Tanner Rempel.
2-2 is the count. Hamilton trying to keep this inning going. And this one's hit in the air, not deep, down the left field line. It's Bonzon over to make the catch, and that will end the inning. 2-0 Hamilton, top of the order, coming up for the Maple Leafs in the bottom of the 4th.
Getting the best player and trying to find the best players around, and getting a guy like Kyle. Obviously, he's a dual guy. He's in the lineup hitting today. He just hit a single through the second baseman.
He was trying to bring a ring to Toronto. This one up the middle, and Kyle Pops is aboard again. Dennis DeManning speeding around second base. He's into third.
Let's see.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Matt Brandt will have to complete the throw down to first base. He does. And Kyle Pops comes in, gets a huge punch out, and his first action on the mound as a Toronto Maple Leaf. Another 0-2. Ibarra hits one on the ground. Ross has it, flips to Mandalay. On to first, double play. In his Maple Leafs debut. The 0-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, Matt Brandt's got to find the ball. Now throws it down to first base, and that'll do it. A save for Kyle Pops. The Maple Leafs win 8-6 on the first day of. Yeah, it's cooked. If it's super. Well, welcome back to Christie Pitts. Spencer Ross, who's had a constant walk-up song over the last couple of years of I Love Rock and Roll, steps up to the plate, facing Hector Jan here in the fourth.
Put another dime in the jukebox, baby.
On a line to Herron at second, and Ross is retired. Put that one right into the glove. I mean, Herron didn't even have to take a step. Now Marcus Connect in the 2-hole for the Maple Leafs. 1 pitch, 1 out for Jan. First pitch strike to Marcus Connect.
Connect struck out swinging his last time up. He chased that low and in fastball by Jan.
And now he fouls this pitch off. Hector Jan is at 45 pitches here in the bottom of the fourth inning.
I think for the most part, you say both these pitchers, just extreme efficiency in their start.
Here's the 0-2. That one's upstairs. Connect, check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. That's another punch out for Hector Jan, and there's one away.
Yeah, it's a tough one. He gets him chasing there, what looked like an off-speed down low, and Connect thought he might have held up, but no. First base umpire says that he did indeed go around.
Puig, a big swing at the first pitch.
Yeah, he was revved up for a fastball, but he got the breaker there, and Jan just a great job of pulling the string.
What an opening day he had with his 2 home runs and 2 walks. And another big cut. Hector Jan was kind of pitching around the edges. This time Yasiel Puig says, just give me someone to hit here as he swings and misses at the first 2.
Gone with 2 breakers, 1 lone away, 1 lone in.
The 0-2 pitch. Puig takes up and away.
Yasiel struck out looking his last time up, didn't agree with the call on the inside half with the umpire.
The 1-2 from Jan, way up and away. That one goes right to the backstop.
And down the third baseline.
I don't know if blowing fastballs by Yasiel Puig is going to be the play this year. Staying away is definitely a good idea.
Yeah, it just looked like there with Jan, he just wanted to rev up, try to get a little bit more behind it, and just let it rip.
Staying away. 3-2. Puig works the count.
Again, just another good at-bat from Puig. This is exactly what he's been doing really all season long.
Fans want to see a strike to Puig. The 3-2 pitch from Hector Jan. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. Yasiel Puig strikes out for the second time today as Hector Jan has got him both times. Maple Leafs trailing 2-0 to Hamilton here at Christie Pitts. A fifth inning of work for Yadi and Martinez facing Yolki Pena. And the first pitch misses for ball one.
I mentioned it last inning for Hector Yan. It's been an effective day for Martinez as well. You know, he got bit by the long ball by Reyes, and then there was just a couple of miscues in that third inning. But for the most part, it has been a solid day on the mound for number 97.
Now he finds the strike zone, and the count's 2-1. Maple Leafs still searching for their first hit of the ball game. Hamilton has 5 against Martinez. Martinez has worked himself back into the count. Here's the 2-2. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Pena doesn't like it. Martinez gets the first out of the 5th. Carlos Dominguez steps to the plate now.
I was going to say, huge strikeout there for the side of Martinez. You get a good located off speed, and now back to the top of the order with nobody on base.
Well, we saw Dominguez scoring to bunt there, laid down a sac bunt earlier on in the game, and it was a beauty. I mean, it was almost a single that time. Clearly trying to bunt for a hit. There's a strike. And the count's 1-1.
Yeah, well, we saw him do it. It looked like he tried to push it towards that second base hole, the sac bunt, and it almost resulted in the single.
Now Martinez gets ahead in the count.
It's very backwards when you look at it for a right-handed batter as well, because normally they try to pull that down the line, but he punched that right to the right side, excuse me.
The 1-2. Chop foul off to the left. Bouncing ball to third, picked by Bonzon. Throw to first in time as Kirk Gibson stretches up to make the catch. That was a good play by Jacob Bonzon over there at third base. That took a tough hop right at the end.
Yeah, it looks like it might have caught the lip of the grass right there, and Bonzon just absolutely says, thank you very much, rolls it up nicely.
You play good defense here at Christie Pitts, you're going to find yourself in the lineup more often than not. One of the toughest infields to play defense on in the Canadian Baseball League. Tyler Duncan 0 for 1 with a walk here today. That walk came in his last at bat, and I think it's fair to say that Yadier Martinez was kind of pitching around him. Now there's nobody on base, and see if Tyler Duncan can cash in his first hit of the young season. Swinging a foul tip into the glove of Matt Brandt.
Yeah, Duncan 0 for 1 on the day. He walked and reached second his last time up.
The 1-2. Fouled off at home plate. That one got a piece of the catcher, Matt Brandt. He's all right. Tosses that ball back to Martinez. Tyler Duncan didn't have a hit in his first game, but did walk twice against Kitchener. Another 1-2. And it's low. Tyler Duncan has been to each of the last 2 IBL All-Star games, which became a thing again back in 2024. Also was the league MVP in 23. This one on the ground, foul to third.
Good off-speed pitch by Martinez there. Duncan cued it right off the edge of the bat.
Talking about defense as well, I think Tyler Duncan was also very proud to win one of the Gold Glove Awards in the outfield last season in the IBL. Here's the 2-2. Just upstairs. Long battle here between Martinez and Duncan, and he slashes one on the ground into the outfield. That is the first hit of the season for Tyler Duncan, as he's aboard with 2 outs here in the 5th.
Yeah, you knew you weren't going to keep him down for long. He is a tremendous baseball player, and right there, he keeps his hands inside on that pitch, and he's able just to get the bat through the zone so quickly.
1 hit, but he's been on base 4 times already in the first 2 games. And now here's Darlin Herman, who drove in one of the 2 runs for Hamilton in this game. First pitch into the outfield for another base hit. That time a sharply hit single, just like his last at-bat for Herman, where he had the RBI. And there's 2 aboard here.
Quietly a 3-for-3 day for Darlin Herman. All 3 of them singles, 1 resulting in the RBI, like you mentioned, but good job out of that 3-hole. Again, this team, their top 3 hitters, they were held quiet last game, 0 for 13, and well, they've answered the call here, reaching base 5 times.
So a quick mound visit, and now Angel Guerrero steps to the plate. 22-year-old out of the Dominican Republic. And Guerrero takes low. Guerrero, line drive into the outfield, down in front of Marcus Connect. Duncan getting the wave home. Here's the throw to the plate, not in time. 3-0 Hamilton Cardinals as Angel Guerrero drives in the 3rd run of the ball game.
And again, it hasn't really been hard contact from the Cardinals here, but it's just efficient contact. You've gotten back-to-back singles, and good base running there. Just cashed in the run by Duncan.
Yeah, 3 singles in a row, all pretty hard hit. And Martinez is just fighting to get out of this inning. Got the first 2 outs rather quickly, and it's really been a 2-out rally here from Hamilton. Here's Nicoll. Big check swing went around.
Again, this is the last guy you want to see come up to bat in a situation like this where your team has momentum. Nicoll has been so good against the Maple Leafs. Again, I believe it was the .478 average he was having.
This one slashed into the outfield. Back goes Marcus Connect to the wall, and it's off the fence. This is going to plate a couple of runs for the Hamilton Cardinals. The throw into the infield skips off the glove of Kirk Gibson. And it's an RBI double for Nicoll, who now over the last 2 seasons has 12 RBIs against the Maple Leafs. 5-0 Hamilton.
Yeah, well, it was only a matter of time before his bat started to get hot against the Leafs, and that 2 RBI double off the wall. I mean, Nicoll is just doing everything that he has done for years against this Maple Leaf squad, and you see the frustration on the mound there by Yadiel Martinez. He thought he made a good pitch. It was just Nicoll placed it perfectly over the head of Marcus Connect.
Yeah, that ball was hit the other way. So you had mentioned on opening day we saw home runs flying out to left field. This time the wind is blowing out to right field, and I don't think Marcus Connect would have had a play on that ball either way. I mean, the ball's just really carrying on this warm day, but boy, it carried a long way. Hit about halfway up that wall on the Creed's Bender in center field. The 0-1 pitch in the dirt goes through Brandt, and the runner will advance. Nicoll to third. Martinez just needs to make one good pitch here to get out of this inning.
Yeah, that one just looked a little bit like a frustration pitch where, you know, things just kind of unraveled here in the 5th for you, and he just wanted to make a big-time play and just over-grip the ball.
Here's the 1-1. Up and away. Feel like fatigue starting to set in a little bit here for Martinez. Long inning, couple of hits. This time missed arm side. 2-1 pitch to Magill. This one's chopped on the ground to first. Gibson has it, flips to Martinez, and that will finally end the inning for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Hamilton tacks on a trio of runs and a long 2-out rally, and it's 5-0 Cardinals as we head to the 5th. Hector Jan has been dealing today for the Hamilton Cardinals Maple Leafs without a hit through 4 innings. Dennis DeBanning leading things off, and there's the first base hit of the ball game. DeBanning stays hot, and Dennis is looking for 2. Here's the throw, and it's dropped, and Dennis DeBanning is into second base with a double.
You want to talk about a guy that plays with passion and heart? DeBanning gets to second, and he is fired up.
Dennis DeBanning would have been out by a mile at second base, but that throw was just on a short hop and kicked off the glove of Herron, and DeBanning was fired up by that fact as he hit it into second.
Well, they say hitting is contagious, so hopefully here for the Maple Leafs, you can start stringing some hits together. Again, you're not all going to get it back all in one inning, but you got to start now with that 5-run deficit.
This time it's Jordan Mandalay, and he fouls that one off and hammers it into the hillside. That one just missed the top of the fence. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Mandalay hits one on the ground. DeBanning is going to advance to third base. Nicoll's throw is in time at first. He looked at Dennis, who was speeding his way to third, and then ended up spinning that throw over to first.
Yeah, if that ball's hit probably a little bit more to the right side of Nicoll, I mean, DeBanning might be hung up there, but that's good base running by DeBanning, noticing the ball hit to his left, so he knows that that shortstop has to take it right behind him, and there's going to be a tough play if he tries to go for third.
So Hector Jan, in his career against the Toronto Maple Leafs, has faced them for 23 1/3 innings. 8 earned runs, Zach, 41 strikeouts over those 23 1/3 for Hector Jan against the Maple Leafs.
Crazy, crazy effectiveness out of Hector Jan when he sees the Maple Leafs jerseys. I mean, it's just tremendous stuff.
Yeah, and that's coming into today. So he's improved those numbers in this start with Hamilton.
7 strikeouts so far on the game.
Maple Leafs with 1 hit, so that takes the pressure off in that department there if you're thinking about it. There was a no-hitter last season. It was thrown by Owen Boone on the Hamilton Cardinals.
Hamilton always has good pitching. That is one thing we can say.
1-1, line drive, caught by Herron. Throw back to third, in time. Oh, Hector Jan is fired up by that great play by Darlin Herron. What a catch, what a throw. Inning over. 5-0 Hamilton here in the 5th. Oh, what an unbelievable play by Herman Sack to get his team out of the 5th.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely tremendous stuff. A leaping grab like that. And, you know, I don't think you can really be too upset. Obviously, you know, the heads-up play for DeBanding is stay close to the base on anything hit in the air, but that's a line drive that's looking like it's getting through. And then you just have a fantastic leaping play at second base and a perfect throw over to third. Looks like a new pitcher into the ball game would be Alex Lanigan. He'll take over for the reins from Martinez, who goes 5 again. This time just a little bit more runs than he was liking.
Yeah, this will be the first bit of action for Alex Lanigan. He's been with the organization for a couple of seasons. Now back on the mound for the Maple Leafs. Reyes, who homered earlier in the game, now hits one on the ground, and it's over the head of Jordan Mandalay. A big Christie hop into center field, and the first runner reaches here against Lanigan.
That just looked like one of those classic Christie hops off of the grass. It looked like Mandalay had an attempt at it, and then it took one huge hop off that dirt into center field.
Alex Lanigan actually spent some time with this Hamilton Cardinal organization back in the 23-24 season. Had a really good year back in 23. 38 innings pitched for Hamilton, an ERA of 2.60. Stands at 5'11" on the mound for Maple Leafs, hailing out of Langley, BC. Great baseball city. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Reyes goes. This one hit into the outfield, down in front of Yasiel Puig. Reyes is going to hold his ground at second base, and the first two reach here for Hamilton in the 6th.
There's only been 2 extra base hits hit by the Cardinals today. Everything else has just been hard singles. They have 11 hits.
Yeah, just the 5 runs. A lot of those hits have been with 2 outs in an inning. Yadier Martinez sometimes has been able to get out of that. In the last inning, not the case. Final line on Yadier Martinez. 5 innings, 9 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned. The 0-1 pitch. That one misses. Yolki Pena was squaring to bunt, so that caught the attention of both Bonzon and Kurt Gibson at the corners.
The bottom of this order has been tremendous so far today for Hamilton. It was the trend we saw in their last game as well.
Here's the bunt. It's down. Lanigan has it. Whips a throw to first in time. That was a great bunt by Pena. That's the second time Hamilton has sacrificed for a bunt, and this time they move 2 runners over and both now in scoring position.
Yeah, it gets scary because now you got to play the game of who do you want to pitch to? Do you want to have it for, a force anywhere, or do you want to have it you're facing Dominguez with a chance to get 2 outs and then have an open base at first for Duncan on deck?
Well, Hennis Alvarado getting loose in the bullpen for the Maple Leafs. Lanigan trying to work out of this jam here in the 6th. Dominguez swings and misses at the first pitch.
Looks like a high slider there by Lanigan.
Carlos Dominguez playing his 2nd season with this Hamilton Cardinal team. Mets fans will know him from being in their organization for 4 seasons. That pitch misses up and away from Lanigan.
He's grounded out 3 times today, but one of them was that sac bunt we talked about earlier in the game. That was back in the 3rd to advance the runner that allowed the first run of the ball game, or excuse me, second run of the ball game to come through.
Here's the 1-1. That one's up and in. Also, by the way, Dominguez has some power. 43 home runs playing in the minor leagues with whatever team he was playing for in the Mets system. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Upstairs, 3-1, and he's found himself in a hitter's count.
Yeah, not sure what you'd want to do here if you're Lanigan, because, again, you don't want to face Tyler Duncan with the bases loaded. We've seen the power and the damage he can do.
This one skied straight up, and I mean way up there. Yordan Mandalay circling under it, drops it intentionally. That was an infield fly. Trying to get some movement on the base paths and didn't get any.
It's not an infield fly. Runners were on 2nd and 3rd.
Oh, excuse me. So now the bases are loaded here for Hamilton. That's an error on the shortstop, Yordan Mandalay.
That's just something we don't see, especially out of an infielder like Mandalay, a guy who is just so sound and solid. And you have an out anywhere now, but it's a dangerous bat in Tyler Duncan.
Duncan hits one on the ground. They're coming home, and it's picked by Matt Brandt at home. Boy, that was dicey for the Maple Leafs. Lanigan gives a big fist bump there to Matt Brandt, who made a great play at home. Okay, back to the Mandalay play for a second. Obviously dumb by me, but did it not look like he kind of laid that ball down in front of him?
It looked like he had it, and as he's running in, it kept getting lower and lower, and he never really was fully set underneath it. Again, it could be a factor of the wind pushing the ball from left to right, but yeah, he got to about his glove right in front of his face, and then he tried to push it in front of him.
Just looking like the sun is kind of lined up there, maybe lost in the sun a little bit, but it looked like he was camped out under it. Either way, Lanigan could still get out of this. 2 outs in the inning. Great play by Brandt to get the runner at home. Here's the 1-0. This one's hit in the air, high and deep to left field. Back goes Puig. He jumps, and he got it! Oh, Yasiel Puig, what a play! He may have taken a home run away. Lanigan will get out of the inning on a great catch by Yasiel Puig.
And who's the first person to greet Puig on the infield? Alex Lanigan himself. Oh my Lord, you mentioned his bat. We talk about it nonstop. The defense of Yasiel Puig shining here at the pits.
Unbelievable. 5-0. We'll take a quick break and be right back. That was the catch by Yasiel Puig moments ago, Zach, and that's certainly one of the better plays we've seen this year in the CBL. Unbelievable. We were talking about Puig's defense before. I mean, he's just as much known for defense as offense when he was in the major leagues.
Yeah, I mean, you got to thank the wind for that one, blown the opposite way. That's probably what kept that ball from sailing over to the skate park. But, yeah, you mentioned Yasiel Puig. He is a very good two-way player. The defense is solid. The bat, it's electric. Tremendous stuff.
Kirk Gibson hits this ball on the ground. Flipped to first from Nicoll, and that's the first out of the inning. So now it's the Maple Leafs third baseman, Jacob Bonzon. He comes to the plate. Nothing Hamilton Cardinals. They picked up a 5-run fifth inning, or 3-run fifth inning. That's what's really stretched things out here.
They've been pitching a tremendous game, and the offense has been perfect. 11 hits. I believe 9 of them have been singles, but we mentioned at the top of the show that this team really wanted to, get their offense rolling, and that's exactly what they've done here. They were swinging early in counts.
Yeah, not a lot of bloop base hits. A lot of hard hit balls today from Hamilton. New pitcher into the game for the Hamilton Cardinals as well is Connor Corey. It was an excellent start from Hector Yon today, who was just mowing down Maple Leafs hitters. Here's the 1-2 to Bonzon. And it's fouled off. Connor Corey, playing in his third season with the Hamilton Cardinals, has had an ERA just over 4 in each of the last 2 seasons. The 1-2 pitch. That one misses outside. A lot of strikes from Corey as well. 8 walks in 2024 and 18 2/3. Just 4 last year in 15 innings. A 2-2 pitch. Bonzon fouls it off again. And Bonzon looks skyward. He may have got a hanging breaking ball there.
Yeah, these are 2 at-bats here that you really want to see have some type of production. Get to that top of the order with runners on. 2 big at-bats here for Bonson and Brandt.
The 2-2, hard hit ground ball up the middle. And Jacob Bonson, who has his first hit as a Toronto Maple Leaf.
Yeah, really good job taking it back where it came. A fastball that he took right back up the middle of the field. And now you have the number 9 hitter in Matt Brandt, who is just hoping to try to extend the inning, get this one up to Spencer Ross, Marcus Connect, and then the dangerous bat of Yasiel Puig.
Manager Luis Bernardo out to the mound to talk to Connor Corey. Connor Corey, a Canadian pitcher, just 23 years old. Matt Brandt. High chopper on the ground to first. Rempel goes to second. High throw, and it pulls the shortstop Nicoll off the bag.
Yeah, on a play like that, if you're the first baseman, Rempel, you got to make sure you're throwing a bullet over there to second base. That time, he fields it cleanly. He does a great move to get into the position to throw. It just looked like he dropped his arm a little bit too much, and he sails the throw up. And Bonson was hustling on contact there. Good job to not give up 90 feet there by Jacob Bonson.
2 on here in the bottom of the 6th. Top of the order for the Maple Leafs, it's Spencer Ross. First pitch to Ross, up and in. Went to school just down the street from here at the University of Toronto. Won the championship last year with U of T as well. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Ross. He takes in the dirt. That one's blocked by Magill behind the plate.
Really like the patience out of Ross here. Again, he's somebody you want to just get on base for the power bats behind him. Marcus Connect, he's had a little bit of a struggle day. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. And Ross 0 for 2, but he lined out his last time up.
That pitch is upstairs. Probably taken all the way here if you're Ross, right?
You would imagine so. I mean, he had good contact his last time up, but you need runs right now. You need base runners, so.
Keep in mind, Connect and Puig are on deck.
That as well. That plays a big factor.
3-0 pitch finds the strike zone. Ross is okay with it. A little nod back to the home plate umpire just to establish where the inner half is.
He says, okay, good to know, good to know.
3-1. Ross swinging, and he lines out, and the Maple Leafs are going to line into another double play. That time is Bonson, who's doubled off at second, and that ends the inning. Boy, Zach, these double plays have been killer today for Toronto.
It's the second time that he's lined out to second, and this time it's just been, it was more detrimental. I mean, that's just a good piece of hitting. You barrel the ball up, and it just tails right into the second baseman.
We'll take a quick break and be right back. New pitcher into the game for the Maple Leafs on the other side. Well, back here at Dominico Field, a look at some of the new rules in the Canadian Baseball League this year, Zach. Like, a little bit longer season. The big thing that jumps out to me there is, one, the number of import spots. We're already seeing that in play. Two, way less playoff spots makes every single game more important this year.
Yeah, you can see how much it means early on in the season. This is only the third game of the regular season for the Maple Leafs, but they've had those plays, those double off plays where they're showing emotion, where they say, man, like if this goes our way, we're in the game still. And it's because of that new rule where only the top 5 teams make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, it makes every game more exciting, every game certainly more important. In past years in the Intercounty Baseball League, it's either been every team makes the playoffs or almost every team makes the playoffs. Last year, it was just one team that didn't make it. Maple Leafs came in as the 7 seed. They had a great series against the Barrie Baycats, but came up short. They were walked off in Game 5 in a 2-2 series. Pitched in there for a strike from Wilhennis Alvarado. And, Zach, fair to say Alvarado is kind of an X factor on this Maple Leafs team?
Yeah, and if you're able to get what he's produced in the past, a league-leading ERA or a very serviceable arm, then it just lengthens out that pitching staff that much more. Again, the big kind of issue we've seen with Alvarado has been that breaking ball. Can he spin that slider? When he's in control of it, it's one of the best pitches in the CBL. He just has to kind of find that consistent release point, find that, arm angle he likes.
2-1 fouled back. Big cut there from Guerrero. Now, Alvarado didn't have a great outing, went an inning and a third last time here on opening day. That was last Sunday. Gave up a couple of runs, a couple of hits in that inning. I thought it wasn't a bad start, though, for Wilhennis Alvarado. I mean, he missed his location a couple of times, like that one, as that one goes over the head of Guerrero. But, I mean, I thought there were some flashes of stuff to kind of build on. Not the worst first outing, and I think today will kind of show if Alvarado can build off of that last outing.
I think that when he's able to tunnel his pitches as well as he does and, do a good job of mixing up his fastball and fastball and slider, he's in a very good spot mentally.
This one's hit pretty well to center field, but it's hanging up for Dennis Tabani. He's there and makes the catch. And that's out number 1. Well, Brandon Nicoll's going to come to the plate now. He had a big hit last time up, that 2 RBI double. Nicoll 1 for 3, a couple RBIs. He's also had a good game defensively at shortstop as well.
Biggest hit of the game is that 2-run double he had, and then, like you mentioned, he's made some key plays there at short.
Yeah, one of them that you talked about last inning was the throw by Tanner Rempel that he made a jumping play at second base just to make sure the runners didn't advance, and we now know that probably saved a run for Hamilton. I mean, I guess there's kind of 2 ways you can look at this game for the Maple Leafs. One, you could say it's some bad luck. They've lined into some outs, but you'd have to think that, or landed in some double plays more importantly, but you'd have to think that later on in the season maybe the base running is a little bit sharper. Here's a ball fouled right off the foot of Nicoll, and he's hobbling a little bit. The umpire's just going to bring this ball right back to Wilhennis Alvarado to give the batter some time to shake that one off.
Yeah, and I think it comes down to, starting the season off where you are and working out some of the kinks in your team. The base running, it's going to get cleaned up. We've seen this team in the past. They've been smart base runners. And some of the luck that we've seen so far in the season, it has to kind of even out. They're not getting as many key plays as they want. 2 line drives that look like they're going for base hits, but the second baseman makes a tremendous play. That is not going to happen every single time.
The 1-2 pitch to Nicoll. And this one's fisted into the outfield. Over goes Marcus Connect. Makes the catch on the run. Almost overran it. But he stays with it for out number 2.
That ball looked like it was going to drop. It just kept carrying towards the line. And, again, that has something to do with this win factor that we've been talking about all day long. for the most part here at the pits, it's always blowing out towards left field. These righties absolutely love it. Today, it's been complete opposite, over to right, and that's what's played a big factor on that play to Marcus Connect.
Now it's the catcher Magill at the dish. Evan Magill is 0 for 3 today. Here's the 0-1 from Alvarado. That one's inside, but once again, that pitch has so much break on it, you could see Magill kind of jump out of the way as he was afraid that was going to hit him.
Yeah, that's the pitch I want to see Alvarado continue to throw it, get into the mind of the hitters, thinking that it's going to be coming at you, and it drops off over the inside of the plate. That time didn't get the call, but if he stays in that area, it would be a very good pitch for him for the rest of the season.
Well, Hennis Alvarado has been on the Toronto Maple Leafs since the 2023 season, but before that, he came out of the Toronto Blue Jays system, pitching for the Dunedin Jays for a little while. As that pitch misses up and in, now it's 3-1 on Magill, and if you're Alvarado, you gotta attack this guy here.
Yeah, got to go right after him no matter what. You want to get out of this inning as quickly as possible. Get those bats up. The bats have been starting to come around. They're having smart at-bats 1 through 9, but you just got to break through that ice.
The 3-1 from Alvarado. Fouled off to the left. And onto the street. Full count now. Can Alvarado locate another one? Reyes is on deck. He homered earlier in the game. 2 outs in the inning. Big 3-2 pitch from Alvarado. And this one's lined into the outfield. Puig coming over, and he makes the catch. Yasiel Puig has had a great day defensively for the Maple Leafs. He'll be coming up on the other side. To the bottom of the 7th we go here at Christie Pitts. Well, talk to Yasiel Puig after his impactful opening day where he had the 2 home runs, and I thought this was an interesting quote from him. He said, "I'm grateful for the opportunity to play in Canada. I love to come to countries and win the championship. That's my goal." And Yasiel's kind of been going around saying, the goal this year is, he wants to help bring all of these players on the team a ring. And the kind of guy he is, he could have that impact on the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing that the Maple Leafs are hoping that he's able to provide for this team, is just the ability to try to bring a championship back to Toronto. We mentioned, or I would not say mention, but if you've been following the IBL for as long as you have, partner, the Maple Leafs, they had big teams back in the day where they went to back-to-back championships, and they fell short there, but now they kind of went through that phase of, are you rebuilding the team? Are you trying to get it with this last stage of veterans? Now the team, you have a guy like Puig, opportunity to bring a ring back to the 6.
Yeah. And I mean, you say back in the day, but I mean, it was like 4 or 5 years
Yeah,
ago.
it wasn't that long ago. I didn't mean to make you sound ancient there, my friend.
Marcus Connect was on that team. He's at the plate now. Both of those teams that went to the finals against the London Majors. And he takes a first pitch strike. This is a new pitcher into the game, Luis Ramirez, a big 6'4" righty, 33 years old, getting his first action here with Hamilton. Connect grounds this one to first. Rempel gobbles it up, steps on the bag, and that's out number 1. And here comes Yasiel Puig. Nothing at the plate today for Puig. A great catch in the outfield, a jumping catch at the wall. He's found his way to make an impact, now trying to do that at the plate as well. Yasiel Puig, a pair of strikeouts so far. There's the 1-0 pitch from Ramirez. And it misses. Pretty much any pitch that's in the strike zone, Yasiel Puig is swinging at.
He was chased twice with Jan, and Jan got him to swing at 2 breaking balls, 1 lone away, 1 lone inside, and then the fastballs in the zone. Puig was swinging through no matter what.
The 2-0. Big swing from Puig. Good pitch from Ramirez right at the bottom of the zone. Wait and see if Puig fouls one off here, because I was watching in the game against the Barrie Baycats. You know that crazy photos where Puig is licking the bat after the foul ball? He still does that. The 2-1, big swing and a miss. Didn't get a piece of that one. Fouled 4 or 5 balls off against the Barrie Baycats, and he tasted that barrel every single time. Bit of a pause here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it looks like the third base umpire caught something that Ramirez was doing, either licking his fingers or tapping his pants and then putting on the ball. So obviously can't have anything that's making an advantage for the pitcher. So they threw that ball right up to the dugout. He got a new one.
Here's the 2-2. Puig takes outside. So what's the order then? Like, you can go to your mouth to kind of wet your hand, but the order is important, Zach.
Yeah, so you can, obviously lick your fingers to try to get a grip, but you got to wipe it basically off on your pants immediately. What he was doing was going straight to the ball to try to get an extra grip.
The 3-2 pitch. Yasiel Puig destroys it. Deep to left field, and it's going to hang up. About 3 feet in front of the wall, and Puig will head back to the dugout.
Yeah, wind played a big factor in that one. The second it went up, it got caught in the wind, and it was just dying right on the track. Kind of knew it as it went up.
First home run he hit at Christie Pitts, the wind helped it. It was straight in the air. This one a little bit more of a line drive. Now it's Dennis DeBanning. Do you think it was gone?
No. The second it kind of went up, I've been watching the flags basically all game long. It's been a steady left to right, but it felt like as soon as Puig came up, the wind was just blowing inwards. Oh. And it looked like he kind of realized too when he hit it that he didn't get all of it. It looked like he was kind of just hoping it would sail over like it did in the home opener.
There's the 2-2 to DeBanning. He's trying to make it 3 games in a row with a home run. Also, Dennis DeBanning has hit home runs in back-to-back opening days in the Canadian Baseball League.
Going for the O'Neill streak.
Which was broken this year.
Yeah, 6 straight home openers.
The 1-2. DeBanning fouls it off. The 1-2 pitch on the ground, foul towards third base.
One thing to notice about DeBanning's swing is he takes a big load, and then he's able to step through and get his hands through the zone so fast. He has such a quick movement with the bat.
That was something that we talked about after opening day last year. He said he hit the home run, but he hit it to opposite field. He said he felt like he was just a little bit late early on in the season. As the 1-2 pitch. DeBanning hits one in the air. This one's deep to left field, and it's gone! How about 3 in a row for Dennis DeBanning? He's homered in every game he's played this year, and the Maple Leafs are on the board.
Absolutely love to see it. And again, it's those quick hands through the middle of the zone. He has a big leg kick, and he drops that foot down, gets the hands through so fast, and it's just a line drive over the left field wall.
Dennis said that he and Marcus Connect were doing a lot of work over the offseason in the batting cages, and boy, is it ever paying off. First pitch to Jordan Mandalay misses. 5-1 now here in the 7th. Mandalay with another big swing and fouls it off.
Mandalay's had a couple of those big wild swings today. It looks like he's just not fully comfortable yet swinging the bat to start the season. He kind of looks a little off balance. It might just be he has been able to pick up the spin from some of these pitchers.
This time he reaches and chops one on the ground. Nicoll's got to be quick, and he gets it there just in time. Hamilton gets out of the inning. Just the lone run scored by the Maple Leafs. But for Dennis DeBanning, he's homered in back-to-back games to start the season. 3 in a row, I should say, to start the season. Well, back here at Dominico Field, First out recorded in the inning there by Yohannes Alvarado, and now this ball is popped up by Tanner Rempel. So apologies for the technical difficulties. We actually just had a little bit of a power outage in our press box. So unfortunately, I can't get the stream back up on YouTube just because of the new system that we have this year in the CBL. But if you're watching right now on the CBL website or anywhere basically that's not YouTube, you can tell everyone, or maybe if someone could post in the Facebook group or something like that, that we are live on the website, just not on YouTube right now.
Yeah, one of those odd power outages. We kind of heard something with the audio that was happening.
Dennis DeBanning broke it.
Yeah, Dennis DeBanning broke the power, but it was kind of funny because rounding the bases, you heard the horn, and it sounded like I thought they were trying to mix something and do. We have a DJ here live.
Yeah.
I thought he was doing something with the horn because it was on off, and I was like, that's not normal, but I guess he's probably having fun with it.
Here's the 2-2. No, it's anything but fun. This one's popped shallow in the outfield, and it's dropping in front of Marcus Connect. Rempel, big turn at first base, but he's going to be held to a bloop single.
Another hit here for the side of the Cardinals. It has been a tremendous day at the plate for them. Talked about in the pregame show how they wanted to turn things around offensively. They've done exactly that in double-digit hits.
Rempel on first. Pena at the dish. 5-1 Hamilton Cardinals. The 3-run fifth inning where they rallied for all three with 2 outs looming large right now in this game. Pena holding his hand up, asking for time. Now he steps back in. This is lefty v lefty here with Alvarado on the mound. Here's the 0-1. Fouled straight back. Oh, 0-2 now. Alvarado's pitch up and in, and it kicks off the glove of Brandt into the backstop. Rempel will move into scoring position.
I don't know if that hit off the glove or hit off the helmet of Brandt because that took a wild bounce.
Carlos Dominguez is on deck. He's 0 for 3 today. Alvarado wants a new baseball now, so he's going to toss that one back. The 1-2 to Pena. Up and away. Two and two, Rempel in scoring position. And that one just missed. It was a great breaking ball from Alvarado. Put it in the spot he wanted, but Pena wouldn't bite. Yolki Pena is 1 for 2 today. He's scored a run, he's struck out. Three-two pitch from Yohannes Alvarado. And Pena hits one on the ground through the right side for a base hit. Rempel is going to be held at third base. And there's runners on the corners with 1 out here in the top of the 8th for Hamilton, who's trying to add on.
Man, they are just a pesky group of hitters. They do not go away. 13th hit of the ball game. And I think that's 11 singles now? Wow.
Well, a guy who would take a single right now is Carlos Dominguez, who's 0 for 3 today, was 0 for 5 last game. And a guy who hit 300 last year for the Hamilton Cardinals. Obviously somebody that they would like to get going early in the season, but it is still very early.
He's one of 2 players so far that doesn't have a base hit yet.
Here's the 1-0. Dominguez takes up and away. Good matchup for Dominguez with the left-handed pitcher in Wilhenis Alvarado on the mound. He'll be able to see that big breaking ball coming in a little bit better than when it comes over the front hip of left-handed batters. Alvarado would love a ground ball here to get him out of the inning. Grounded foul. That one right to Rob Butler, who makes the catch in foul territory. Rob Butler back for another season coaching with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Has some help from his brother Rich, both of which were pretty prolific major leaguers in their time. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Tapper back to the pitcher, Alvarado, looks the runner back, throws to first, and that's the second out of the inning. Well done, Wilhenis Alvarado, to salvage that run from coming across home plate.
Overall, really good play there. Again, you go out, you check the runner back, you know you still have time to make a play over to first, and he does it to perfection.
Well, here is Rob Butler out to the mound. By the way, there were a lot of fans, waiting in center field for trying to get Yasiel Puig's autograph. What's interesting, and I've seen this phenomenon with a lot of different teams that I've worked for, is that now that all these fans are lined up trying to get Puig's autograph, they're trying to get a lot of the other players' autographs as well. Rob Butler is one of those guys, and obviously you know why they're trying to get his autograph. But, people are starting to look up Marcus Connect and realizing that he was in the Toronto Blue Jays system, and I saw him signing a bunch of autographs out in center field by all those fans out there. So, I think it's just kind of really bringing attention to a lot of other players on the Toronto Maple Leafs, and fans are realizing, Puig's not the only good baseball player with a crazy story. Like, there's a lot of those players in the Canadian Baseball League.
Yeah, I was going to say, just to add on to your point there, was that when we were walking in from the center field after setting up, the cameras and stuff out there, we noticed, people line up and they have the Maple Leaf training cards.
Yeah.
And Marcus Connect was signing a couple. I think a couple other players were stopped as well. But it's just something cool to really see that, we haven't seen a whole lot of. Obviously, a lot of kids like to get the baseball signed or get the cards that they have signed. But, it was more so just fans of the game that were going up and wanting to get stuff signed. We had people come up here to us in the booth saying, hey, where can I get this signed? Where's the best area?
Here's the 2-0 now to Duncan. And that one's there for a strike. Tyler Duncan was taking all the way. I mean, look up Marcus Connect's story. At one point, a really highly touted prospect back in 2010. I mean, he was one of the top prospects in the Blue Jays organization after being a third-round draft pick there. You look at Tyler Duncan, also a draft pick of the Seattle Mariners. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and that misses, and Alvarado has fallen behind the dangerous hitter in Tyler Duncan.
Last thing you want to do is fall behind to a hitter like Duncan, who has already done damage here in this game.
So has the on-deck batter, Darlin Herman, 3 for 4 today. The 3-1 pitch finds the zone right at the knees. Duncan was ready to flip the bat back to the dugout, and now the count is full. And what do you do if you're Alvarado here?
We can go after him, try to command a fastball low and away, see if he bites at that, and if he does and fouls it off, that's when you'd come back with a slider.
The 3-2. Outside, Duncan wouldn't chase, went with the slider, and the bases are loaded for Darlin Herman.
I would assume that might be his last batter with Pops in the bullpen, looking like he's ready to come into this game. But no, it looks like they're going to give the batter here to Alvarado.
Yeah, Pops came in late in the game. Kyle Pops has a great story. Maybe we'll tell that if he comes in. He's a two-way player for the Maple Leafs. Today he's just down in the pen. Bases are loaded. Here's Herron, who's had a great day at the plate. And he hits one on the ground through the right side for a base hit. Another single. One run comes into the score. Hamilton goes station to station. It's 6-1 here in the top of the 8th.
His second RBI of the game, his 4th single, Hamilton's 12th. And they're just putting on a clinic right now. Their bats were quiet against Kitchener. They've woken up here against Toronto.
Darlin Herron with his 4th hit of the ball game, another RBI. So he's at first. Tyler Duncan is at second. Yolki Pena at third. Angel Guerrero, the batter now, who has an RBI today. He's 1 for 4. First pitch from Alvarado. Upstairs, ball 1. And Angel Guerrero has the benefit of knowing that Johannes Alvarado needs to come into the strike zone here. 17 balls, 22 strikes, 39 pitches for Johannes Alvarado. Here's the 1-0. Upstairs, missed arm side with the breaking ball, and Zach, sometimes that tells you that the pitcher's getting a little bit fatigued out there.
Yeah, he's just not snapping that pitch down. He's staying up and loose, and I just thought that last batter would be the perfect time to bring in Pops, who's been so good on the mound for them so far. He had a great appearance, like you mentioned, his last time out.
2-0 pitch. A strike right on the outside corner, perfectly placed. Now the Maple Leafs do have the lefty v lefty matchup. Nicoll hits from the other side, so maybe Pops if Guerrero is able to get on. Bases loaded here, top of the 8th. Hamilton trying to blow it wide open. And Guerrero chops one weakly on the ground to first, and he says that ball hit his foot. The umpire at first base says no. The home plate umpire calls time, and now they're going to talk about it. I believe this was an out as the call in the field. Am I wrong?
Yeah, the call in the field was out. They're all going to discuss it now. Third base coach, you can see he was kind of irate and wanted an answer immediately.
That's Luis Bernardo. Runners out. Bernardo is not happy about this, but I will say Hamilton is up 6-1 here. And Luis Bernardo is going to plead his case, but it is going to be to no avail. 6-1 Hamilton Cardinals. Maple Leafs running out of outs here on this beautiful day at Christie Pitts. Well, welcome back to Dominico Field. Quick look at the CBL standings so far this year. It's the Welland Jackfish who have jumped out to 2 wins to start the season. Maple Leafs sitting at 1-1. It's the Guelph Royals, Zach. You a little bit surprised that they weren't able to find the win column in the first 2 games?
Yeah, I think the biggest shocker is just the pitching. You know, I talked on the CBL change-up about the Royals, gave a preview of their season, and their pitching staff is a lot deeper than what it was last year, and that's kind of been the most surprising part so far, is that those arms out of the bullpen have just, you know, given up as many runs as they have. You know, granted, it is hard to go play Chatham. That's something me and you have always discussed, that long road trip, and the Barnstormers put up a massive total on them in their first game.
Mike Cecchetto swings through the first pitch. It was a check swing, but he clearly went around. Never easy to go out to Chatham-Kent and play a game, though. I'll give him that one. Here's the 0-1.
You know, for the most part, you always happen to have a short bench as well when you go up to Chatham. And, you know, you sit on a bus for 3-4 hours. The Barnstormers are, you know, just kicked up, chilling at home, waiting for the game.
Yeah. Remember, we took the bus out there for a game last season, and we darn near didn't make first pitch. It took so long to get there.
It's tough. That highway, it's not a friendly drive. I've made that drive a couple of times out to Windsor.
Yeah. If you're stopping at the en route, make sure your subway order isn't too complicated.
Pro tip right there from Mr. Thomas West.
It wasn't me. It was not me, I swear. Here's the 0-2 here to Cecchetto. And he swings and misses, strike 3. Ramirez gets the punch out. This is the second inning of work for Ramirez.
You're telling me your subway order is pretty simple?
When I'm on the bus with people who are more important than me, yeah.
Just give me a cold cut with mayo.
Yeah. Here's Kirk Gibson, the first baseman. Ramirez delivers strike 1. Zach, Luis Ramirez has been pounding the strike zone. 22 pitches, 4 balls, 18 strikes for Ramirez so far.
Hey, he's pitching to contact, but right now not a lot of contact being made. He already has 1 strikeout. He has Gibson swinging and missing here behind 0-2.
The only guy that made some contact was Dennis DeBanning, who hit the home run, and that's strike 3 called. Gibson goes down looking. This is Jacob Bonzon, who picked up his first hit as a Toronto Maple Leaf in his last at-bat. He's 1 for 2 in this one. Matt Brandt is on deck, and then back to the top of the order for the Maple Leafs. That is if Bonzon can get on.
This has just been an all-around really solid game out of the Hamilton Cardinals. I mean, the pitching has been tremendous.
Bonzon hits it off the glove of the pitcher Ramirez, throw to first by Herron, and they still made it happen. A 1-2-3 inning for Ramirez as he retires Bonzon, and the Maple Leafs are down to their final 3 outs here at Christie Pitts. So this is the great Kyle Popp story that I learned after last game. So he's a two-way player. He said, my wife is a hitting instructor, and she taught me how to hit before I went to Australia. That was last year, and I just wanted a chance to hit here with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, I know he's not hitting today. He's on the mound. He had 2 hits on opening day, but how about that? You get married to a hitting instructor, and all of a sudden you aren't just a pitcher anymore.
Maybe it's that easy, you know? That's pretty cool. I mean, he also had a really solid day on the mound his last time out. The at-bats were solid, too. He's going to be a fun player to watch here for the Maple Leafs and Kyle Pops.
Yeah, he had, like, Puig had the opening day. There was no question about it. 2 home runs. Everyone was here to see him. But Kyle Pops, 2 hits, and then he came in and got a 4-out save. Unbelievable. And that earned the Maple Leafs an opening day victory, 8-6 over Kitchener. Brandon Nicoll, who continues to be a thorn in the side of the Maple Leafs, steps to the plate here as Hamilton looks for some insurance, but they are out in front by 5 runs here in the top of the 9th. If Kyle Pops is going to end up being in that closer role for the Maple Leafs, so you think that would be kind of bizarre as a two-way player, but that's what he did on opening day. It doesn't hurt to pitch him right now. The Maple Leafs do not play until Saturday, so they've got a whole week off. This one's hammered down the left field line. It is a high, majestic drive, but well foul. Nicoll hit that one well.
Good wording there, partner.
Thank you.
Pulled that one out of the dictionary.
Yeah, right from the Oxford Learning Center.
Attaboy.
Here's the 1-1. I actually, in my free time, I go out and take scenics of Toronto. Sometimes you see the shots that come back from back. Those aren't live, by the way. That's from 10 a.m. this morning.
You're not supposed to tell them.
Right. Anyway, I was I got one for next game of the UFT library. I was on my way. That's a couple subway stops down the street.
Okay.
3-1 here on Nicoll. He fouls that one off at the plate. 3-2.
Hey, if you ever need some of the lake over by the Mississauga side, I can give you that one.
A little far. I was kind of thinking CN Tower, but we're not really in that vicinity. Like,
I mean, you can get the top of the tower from here.
This is a very different neighborhood than downtown Toronto. 3-2 on Nicoll. Check swing. Did he go? No, says the umpire at first base. Well, that's how the game ended on last Sunday. Pitch in the dirt. Matt Brandt had to make that pressure throw to end the game down to first base. Kitchener was threatening this time. Nicoll did not go around on the check swing, so here's Magill. First runner reaches here against Kyle Pops. Big swing and a miss at the first pitch by Magill. Evan Magill is 0 for 4 today. As you mentioned, Zach, one of the few players without a hit in the lineup today for Hamilton. And that pitch behind Magill, and it clipped him. It clipped him on the jersey on the way through, and he is heading down to first base.
And right now, if you're Pops, you just want to give your team a chance to try to come back in this game. And it's going to be hard if they open the floodgates here in the 9th.
Here's Reyes. Swings and misses at the first pitch. Boy, Pops has got a lot of swing and miss, but the first 2 have still reached here. There's the 0-1. That one misses in the dirt.
The biggest thing with Pops that I've noticed is he has good deception. It's the same arm angle with his off speed and his fastball, and if he can have the ability to continue to tunnel that, it makes it so difficult for the hitters to pick up on.
Kyle Pops has journeyed through a bunch of different teams over the last couple seasons. spent a good chunk of time in the WCBL with the Lethbridge Bulls from 18 to 21. Now this one's chopped foul. That one definitely did hit the batter Reyes. There was a bit of discussion about that to end last inning. After that, went to the West Coast League, played with Edmonton. And then in 23, a couple of different teams with the Park Gilbert Buccaneers, NAIA team. And then the Neustadt Diving Ducks out in Austria.
I will say, if you are a new fan of the CBL and you want to learn players, just Google some of these guys' names. You talked about it earlier. They have some fantastic journeys.
This one is dished into the outfield, a base hit. And once again, Hamilton goes station to station. Bases loaded, nobody out here in the 9th. And Hamilton has a chance to blow this one wide open with Tanner Rempel at the dish. I think the only team I really missed there for Kyle Pops was the Brooks Bombers in the Western Major Baseball League. That's a summer team. The one thing that does stand out about Pops when you stand next to him, 6'6". He is a huge guy on the mound.
You can see a good presence there too. And he gets low with his release point. It's not a high over the top like we've seen from, like a guy like Trey Savage. He gets down and low into his delivery.
Counts now 1-1 on Rempel. One misses outside, and Pops falls behind in the count. Gotta find the strike zone here. Rempel knows it, and he hits him. It hit him on the elbow guard. He heads down to first, and that'll push in a run here for Hamilton. And this outing starting to go a little bit sideways here for Pops. 2 hit batters in the inning.
Just looks like he's lost control of what he was trying to do. The off speeds are, hanging up towards the left-handed batter's box, and those fastballs he's trying to run low and in, they're staying high, and they've clipped 2 batters like you mentioned.
So Yolki Pena will come to the plate. 7-1. And the pitch is in there for a strike. The 0-1 pitch, that misses low, 1-1. Big swing and a miss. Pops finds himself ahead in the count. Zach, at this point, just recording it out anywhere is fine. I mean, if a run comes in, you just want to get through this inning.
Yeah, the biggest out number 1 here for Kyle Pops.
Here's the pitch. Pena chops one on the ground, foul towards first base. Still 1-2.
You see the corners are playing in. They're going home with the ball. The middle infield, they're okay electing for that double play and giving up the run.
The 1-2 pitch, fouled off. And the last thing you want on the mound, you're ahead in the count if you're Pops, but Yolki Pena just continues to battle.
The bottom of this order, that's what they've been doing all day long. It's been a pesky bottom 3.
This one's hit on the ground. Ross has it, flips to second for 1, and did Jordan Mandalay hold on to the ball? He did. Run comes in to score. Out is recorded, 8-1 Hamilton.
That's a good job by Jordan Mandalay to just make sure you get the out no matter what. He held on to the ball. He was spinning, falling down, still able to get the out at second base.
Now here's Dominguez.
Only 2 hitters without a hit in the game for the side of the Cardinals is Carlos Dominguez and Evan Magill.
Swings and misses at that pitch. Now hits one in the air. This one's deep to left field. Puig going back a couple of steps, makes the catch. That's going to go down as a sac fly for Dominguez, and now it's 9-1 Hamilton.
Good piece of hitting out there by Dominguez. You just get underneath the ball and you're able to just sail it deep enough to cash in the run. That was his 6th at-bat of the game, and it just shows the prowess that this Hamilton lineup has had all day long.
Now it's hit on a big hop to third base, throw to first in time, and that will do it. So Kyle pops, works into some trouble, then finds the strike zone and gets out of the inning. But the Hamilton Cardinals tack on some insurance as we head to the bottom of the 9th.
Get ready, Chatham Kents. For the first time ever in the new Canadian Baseball League era, the 2026 All-Star Showdown is landing at Fergie Jenkins Field on the July 11th and 12th weekend. The All-Star weekend of the new CBL era. It's history in the making.
Back here at Dominico Field, Matt Brandt leading things off for the Leafs. This one's hit in the air by Matt Brandt, and it is gone! Matt Brandt picks up his first home run. It's 9-2, as he was able to elevate that one over the wall.
And we talked about it a lot with Matt Brandt. It's a guy that has a great opportunity to kind of get a lot of playing time, and he showed good plate discipline in his first game here at Christie Pitts, and he does it right there again. Great home run over the Metal Monster.
So 9-2 the score now. Spencer Ross at the dish, takes up and in. The 1-0 pitch hit on the ground by Ross. Nicoll has it, Flips to first, just in time. Ross was motioning safe with his hands. It was close. That's the first out of the inning.
That is the third or fourth play we've seen where Brandon Nicoll has just done an outstanding job at shortstop.
And now this one hit into the outfield. That one's down for a base hit. It's going to roll into the gap. And the new pinch hitter, Kalidas, is aboard with a single.
Came in position for Marcus Connect and rips it on a first pitch right there. Warm welcome here in his first plate appearance of the game.
So Kalidas, yeah, he was pinch hitting for Marcus Connect there. That's a good rip for his first hit as the Maple Leaf. And now here's Yasiel Puig. Puig takes a first pitch strike, something we haven't seen a whole lot today. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Puig on the ground. Flip to second for one. Back to first. In-time double play, and that's the ball game. Ramirez, a strong outing on the mound to close it out for the Hamilton Cardinals. The bats for the Maple Leafs just couldn't get by the starting pitcher, Hector Yon, who was really good today, Zach.
Yeah, Hector Yon continues his dominance against the Maple Leafs, but the game as a whole was just the bats of the Cardinals. I mean, racking up hit after hit after hit. They needed the offense to come alive in this game for them, and it did just that. Tremendous job, 1 through 9 for the Hamilton Cardinals.
So Hamilton, we mentioned they would be hungry to pick up a win after their opening day loss. They do here in Toronto. The Maple Leafs fall to 1-2 on the season. They have to wait until Saturday to play their next game out against the Welland Jackfish in Welland, always a difficult place to play. Hamilton's bats come alive, 15 hits on the day. Maple Leafs just had the 4. They got home runs from Matt Brandt and Dennis DeBanning. DeBanning has homered in every single game so far this season for the Maple Leafs. From Thomas West and Zach Benoit, thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your evening.